Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we have another direct-to-consumer product.
Inesis.
We've been there before.
We have.
We've done the 500s last year at some point, Matty. We done
I believe so.
The irons from Inesis. They performed fairly well for us.
Yeah, they were a really good budget set. They were a package set, but I thought the performance of them was quite good.
Yeah, we quite liked them. This is the 900 series. This is a different proposition.
Yeah, the premium offering from this company for sure.
Looking into it a little bit, there is actually some lineage to this name of the 900 series. Some of you who are familiar with European Tour golf will know Thomas LeVay and know that he was the Inesis brand ambassador for a long time,
right.
Multiple tour winner in Europe. And he used the 900 series, but it was at that time it was more of a traditional blade.
Right, and this is probably inspired by that.
Yes.
This is hollow, obviously, but similar kind of clean lines on there.
And Inesis are calling this the modern blade.
Well, there you go.
Right, so you know some transition to the long irons into the mid, into the shorts. The long irons are very much hollow body.
Yes,
very much. You know, face flex design. A little bit less of that technology in the mid irons for a bit more control, but still distance and enhancing, and then more control in the short irons.
Yeah, no hollow construction in the short irons. Kind of like what P760 was like that.
Exactly.
From TaylorMade. So similar idea that way.
Yeah, it's a pretty generous footprint. I mean, you've got the 4, I've got the 7.
Wide soles,
They're
right?
quite different. I mean, you see that's very much, we said it earlier, driving iron.
Yeah, the 4 and the 3 look like a driving iron. They kind of price them that way on the website. You'll notice that they're offered not in the standard set. The 5 to pitching wedge is the standard set.
Yeah.
But I can see why, because this kind of looks like you would purchase it separately. You know, as a one-off club, and it's got driving iron look.
Yeah, and we're a little late to the game with the review on these anyway, because I've seen some reviews on Peter Finch's channel. I think James Robinson's also reviewed them, and I don't know if it was one of the driving irons. I know Peter Finch was talking about putting one of them in play.
Oh, was he really? Okay, maybe it was one of these.
And I can only assume, you know, based on the performance, it may have been one of those, but I didn't see. It wouldn't have been one of the other ones because he's got his Mizuno irons. So
of course,
it will be interesting to see. They come in 3 shaft options.
Yep.
It comes in a UST recoil graphite. It comes with an 85 gram Nippon, the 850.
And we've got the 1050 here.
This is the stiffest one that they offer within that. So
gotcha.
You know, a lot of the direct consumer companies, Haywood, Sub 70, you know, those types of companies, they are offering, you know, good programs for shafts, KBS, True Temper, things like that. So one of the things with these, I think at the price point that they're at, which is definitely quite a bit more than the 500s, there are less shaft options than some of the other companies.
I would definitely like to see them expand that, and maybe they will in the next iteration of it, because if you were to buy these and pull the shafts, I think the cost savings goes away.
Yeah.
And if you get a stronger player, someone who swings, you know, I don't know, over tour speed, for example, I think you're kind of out of options with what's there.
I think that could turn some people away from the design and the concept of the progressive head design that maybe they would quite like to try them, but they couldn't, and you know, it's just not going to be suitable for them.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So we have our able-bodied tester,
Mikey.
How are you?
Premium clubs, premium tester,
premium player. We thought this would be a good one for you because you currently use MMT 105 shafts in your irons. So the 1050 Nippon is not a million miles away. It's quite a long way from the kind of weight that we use, but you know, this is a little bit more in your weight category. So I thought you'd be a perfect candidate.
Love it.
Michael, give us the opening thoughts, and you can be as honest as you want.
What do you think?
The shape's very different. The toe is you know, it goes from rounded to very sharp at the top, and it's not something I would definitely use, but it's just it's very different. It's not really. It's against the traditional look of an iron, and it's not wrong.
I can't think of another one though in the market that looks like that.
No, exactly. It's very like, you know, it's an independent look. No one else is doing it, so you know, from the back it looks really nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, I'm excited to hit them, see what they're like.
Yeah. Okay, let's hit a few. Loves a wedge, doesn't he?
He does.
Loves a wedge.
Lovely. Green in regulation. Distance, good. Nicer.
Very good, Michael.
It's sounding pretty soft. Mikey, what do you think?
Yeah, they feel maybe a touch clicky to me, like, you know, more of that game improvement style feel, but
Relatively soft?
yeah, not awful.
Good, Mikey.
Got a little chance, Michael.
Be good.
Oh,
Any concerns with like the offset on it or the address profile? Did anything kind of need adjusting to, or was
To be
it
honest
pretty...
with you, it doesn't look like there's 44 degrees of loft on this thing. Actually, when I first looked at it, I was like, is this at 48 or 46? It just does. It looks very
normal?
Yeah, I mean, offset, I think the toe and that shape make it look like a ton of offset, but if you like look straight down at it, to me, it's actually quite clean.
it's okay.
That's good.
A little thin.
Yeah, good. A little bit thin, but it's still going to carry almost the whole way. Fairly forgiving.
We're looking at some pretty low spin. That's probably the biggest concern at this point. We're not spinning it all that much.
Fair enough.
We've got a decent land angle around 49 degrees. I saw just in the table there. So you know we are going to stop these. It's not an issue.
Right.
49 dead on, but.
Would you like to see that closer to 8,000?
I would, yeah, definitely would. More, not so much from a stopping perspective, more from a distance control perspective. I just wouldn't like that to be. Mikey would hit a really nice one. All of a sudden, you know, maybe the spin drops a little bit, and he could fly that 8-9 yards further, and you put it over the back of a green or something.
Fair enough. And it's a control club, so you want to have that consistency. Yeah, that's good.
You can see the flight coming down though, can't you?
Definitely. A little bit on the flat side.
You know, 7-iron spin down under 5,000 is a problem.
Good.
You can see that it's a really nice flight, but he's had to really manipulate the loft, in order for it to carry that extra spin.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, launch and spin came up. Peak height was probably another 8 or 9, more than that.
Wow.
So that's kind of what we want it to look like online.
Yeah.
Right. So good speed, good launch, over 5 spin. Okay, just out of interest, I'm going to change a little ball setting here. That's the best one.
Nice, Mikey. They expect to see a little bit more spin maybe on that
tad
Pro
heel.
V1X?
Yeah, but it's coming out low, really low. So spin has improved, but we're not in a launch window that we really like at all.
So this may not so far be best for a low ball hitter, because there are irons that are great for a low ball hitter.
Yeah.
I don't think we're seeing that here. Would you say this is probably for the person who spins their irons up way too much, and this set of irons might help them reduce the flight quite a bit?
It seems a bit of that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the ball change is nice there, but with the additional friction has come lower launch.
So the flight ended up lower anyway.
Yeah, it's actually ended up coming out a little low. And it's back to that conversation that people say, oh, it doesn't spin enough. Well, spin is not what you're looking for if you're hitting it too low. You want launch and you want speed.
You want the height of it.
Yeah. And we've not gained any speed. We've lost 1.5 degrees of launch, and the additional spin has actually brought it down in flight.
Interesting.
Not ideal. You've lost distance with spin.
It's better, Mikey.
That's better.
Good swing.
Much better. Who moved that pin?
Get up there. Yeah, it's a little better, so a little bit more spin with the Pro V1X, but...
Right, so we can safely say now, with that as an example, what was wrong with those first 3 was the height of the strike.
Right, too low.
It was purely just tilt. Yeah, you were getting tilt from that, so there's just a little ball change, right? So, sure, launch is still a fraction down, but, you know, this is good. That's better.
Yeah, a little bit more carry, a little bit slightly more height on the ball. Should stop slightly quicker and be a little bit more under control.
But I think your analysis, Matthew, of they're going to suit somebody who's on the higher end of spin is bang on.
Seems like it, right? Almost like they wanted it to be a P790 type competitor, someone to knock the ball down and hit it a bit further.
What do they feel? They feel like sound okay?
Sounded okay. The beginning, I felt like I was catching it maybe a fraction behind, but you know, if I actually put my mind to it and hit it properly, it feels okay. I was looking at it here. There's kind of like a pre-worn leading edge as well, which is nice. So, you know, just help you get through the turf a little bit more. But other than, again, high-pitched sound to it, felt fine.
Not too bad. Fine. Try the long driving 4-iron here.
It's just a day of surprises for you, isn't it? When you're hitting 4-irons well, mini drivers well.
It's nice.
It's easy in here.
He easily gets onto the...
Lovely strike.
Yeah, that's a decent amount of spin.
Yes, coming out like a nice 3-wood.
Just replay that 3 times. That is a nice 3-wood.
Okay, a wee bit scrapey. Well, one of the problems you do have, and actually this is a lovely segue, your toe is 6 degrees down on average into the mat, 6.1. So
that's not helpful, obviously.
No, and that's part of the reason these scrapes are occurring. And it's not so much about the sole in general. It's actually about the toe being too much down. So it gives us a good opportunity to test how soft they are.
Okay,
because they are forged by design.
All right, see if that helps.
So we've changed it 3. For me, the golden rule is I don't like to see the toe up or down 3 degrees from neutral. Okay. So there's like a 6 degree window in there.
Right.
3 down, 3 up.
That's acceptable.
I'm kind of happy enough with the turf interaction you'll get from that.
Okay.
Any more down than that in Mikey's case, and I'm questioning whether that's really advantageous at all.
Certainly sounded a hell of a lot cleaner.
Way different, wasn't it?
It's a crisp strike.
Crisp strike.
3.8.
Good guess.
Good.
Nice. That's way better, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's like a different club. Mikey.
Praz, I think we should do a loft and lie after this.
What's going on here?
Look at those last 2.
Gorgeous.
Okay, so we can discard those first few.
It's well hit, Mikey. Should
all
catch
good.
The edge. Yeah, that's good from that range. Yeah, that's a nice one.
Alrighty. Performed quite nicely.
Yeah, I think so.
Performed quite nicely.
Hard to find anything to complain about. I think it's a situation where a lot of irons fall, is that it just might not suit your ball flight. If you are someone who hits the ball a bit low to begin with, these probably aren't for you.
Yeah. I think you need to be someone who spins it a little bit more than Mikey does. Mikey is your low spin loft player, fairly shallow in the angle of attack, quite a strong face position, so kind of de-lofts it a little bit. So, you know, always fighting for more height.
Yeah.
You know, we're as we saw during it's not really more spin that you're fighting for. It's just more height. It's more everything, more launch, more delivered loft. You know, all of that sort of stuff. So, wedge performed right on cue with what you said. 130.
Seemed quite consistent too, which was nice.
7-iron was performed quite well, and then we did make that little ball change. So with the 7. We saw some reasonable numbers with the first golf ball we tested, which was the Z-Star. Actually changing to that Pro V1X was better for you though. Jumped up about 500.
Yeah, which was worth it, right? Worthwhile change.
Yeah, with that little gain. And then really the kind of little magic that we found when we tested the 4-iron was actually a little lie angle change.
So Mikey noticed a little bit of a scuff before the ball, kind of felt like, okay, what am I doing with my swing? And then you noticed it was like 6 degrees toe down.
Yeah.
And you thought that's way too much. We got to make an adjustment there.
There was the first kind of 4 with it, 6.2, 7, 6.3, 5.0. So, and you could even see something similar is happening with the 7-iron. So
you could just get away with it more so, I guess, so with that shorter club?
Yeah, because you're a little bit on the steeper side, you're moving low point out in front. When you shall out that angle of attack a little bit, then that toe down starts to grab a little bit more, and it will really affect your smash, your efficiency. So what we saw from Mikey was 144, 138, 138, 128. And then when we made the lie angle adjustment right here, made a massive change to his efficiency.
So 3 degrees upright. It obviously brought it about 3 degrees more upright dynamically as well.
Yeah.
And then the ball flight on that compare page, it actually looked pretty good.
Looks good.
It's still a little bit on the low side, but still quite a good looking flight.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of came up. So we saw the 7-iron averaging 82 feet in peak height. So we got a 72, an 82, and a 74.
Pretty good. And,
pretty good.
And high spin, right? We're looking for higher spin than before.
Yeah.
High 3000s is quite a bit better than where we started.
We were kind of low 3s, 1 at 4, but then we got some consistency to that spin rate after that. So
nice.
Yeah, little lie angle adjustment. I mean, we were kind of joking a little bit off camera, sometimes these forged, quote unquote, forged clubs are hard to bend.
Yeah.
We got 3 degrees of change out of that.
It's quite a lot, right?
It is. It is. For these types of modern hollow bodied clubs, generally the walls are fairly thin, so they have to go with quite a rigid body structure.
Right.
So it can be hard to bend them.
Well, that's a good feature then. I mean, the thing is, though, these are obviously not their cheap offerings, so that's something you really would expect. Yeah. They need to be able to be adjusted, and there aren't the most shaft options, so it's good to see that you can at least do the lies and lofts on those.
Yeah. Guys, all in all, I think this is a nice set. They perform very, very nicely. It is starting to encroach a little bit on the mainstream, though, when it comes to price.
I would say so, yeah.
€690 for a set.
That's 5 to pitching wedge, right?
Yeah, 5 to wedge. The additional 3 or 4 irons, should you wish to purchase it, is €140, which is 204 Canadian dollars.
Yeah.
That's starting to get into Strixon territory, price-wise.
Yeah, dangerous, isn't it?
It is a little bit. It is.
Because you have so few less fitting options, shaft options, and plus, I mean, Strixon's been a trusted and really well-performing iron brand for years. And that's what people will be seeking out. So I'll be curious to see, is it a bit of a niche product? Do you find a person who hits them that hits it too high and they just love the feel of them, maybe? We certainly don't think that there's no one for them, but maybe just a smaller market. That's all.
Yeah. I think it's harder to probably argue if you're the client looking for that high value relative to what's out there. Walking in and seeing this at the price point, there might not be enough separation on the price to really take your mind away from the major
premium ones.
major brands.
Yeah, fair enough.
Mikey, user thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I have nothing against them. Like when we first looked at them, kind of looked at it and go, I don't know if I would pick that off a rack to hit, but I'm glad I got to test it. It's nice, we know it's more premium. It is close to that price range, but I don't think it's not a waste of money, that's for sure.
Yeah,
it's really,
they're
really
not that
nice.
far away, are they?
No.
Performing well. Well, we continue to see good stuff from the direct-to-consumer brands. We actually have a test coming up that I'm really excited about, the new level irons.
That's right.
The guys at Scottsdale are making, to be honest, some of the best head shapes out there right now. I think there's a new PF line, which we've ordered some test components from. There's a new driving iron that looks really good. They're getting into the hybrid space and starting to expand their line, and Eric's been doing good work for quite some time, but I think this new PF line really caught my eye a while back and reached out to him, so he's sending us some for testing.
That's great.
So that'll be really good.
Upcoming
Upcoming soon.
All
okay, guys, stay tuned for more. We'll see you again soon.